Sheree. Ladies, do you know what is right around the corner? Let me tell you, primary election season. The primaries are upon us in many of the states. In fact, we're in Maryland and we have a huge primary coming up. Yes. I believe it's June 24th, but at any rate, there are a lot of primaries going on right now. And so it is so important that we recognize the power of the women's vote.
That's right, that's right.
I think we have to. And here's the thing, you've got to figure out what's at stake.
Yes.
And I think the challenge is oftentimes we don't know. And I know talking about voting isn't super sexy, but not talking about it and not going to the poll will do us in. And so I think this is a great time for us as women to realize our power at the ballot box, take it back, and quite frankly, our next guest will tell us about the importance of women running for office.
Oh, yes.
It's not just good enough to be in office, or it's not just good enough to have a seat at the table. Be at the table. Be at the head of the table.
Be at the head of the table. And so we have a special interview that we did with Stefanie Brown James, co-founder of the Collective. So please stay tuned and watch this powerful information that we want to share with you today. Hello, welcome back to Grown Women Talk. I'm Kia, and this is Andrea, who is going to introduce us to a very special guest that we have with us today.
So first of all, we're very excited. I get to obviously know her. We are friends, and so and many of you know her. You've seen her in different circles. So this is Stefanie Brown James, who is indeed the co-founder, along with her husband, of the Collective, and she is the national director and national founder of Brown Girls Lead. I could go on and on. She's a community activist, mother, an amazing woman, and a brain trust. And so we're excited to have her here. But I need to tell you, this was a big deal to be able to get her today. A big deal because Stefanie is preparing she and her husband are preparing a panel right now that will include many of the greats that many of us have heard of. Michael Dyson.
Down in Brazil.
I know. So just to name a few. And so we don't have much time, but we did want to share a few things with you. And so Stefanie, again, thank you for joining us.
Thanks
and
for
know
having me.
that you got lots going on.
Thank you.
And so we know that history has shown that the critical influence of the female vote and its power to change elections has overwhelmingly been women of color. Women, period. And we've been hailed as this driving force, quite frankly. You've seen us out. We helped elect, and we can own these things. Helped elect Ralph Northam in Virginia, Doug Jones in Alabama, and the list goes on. And quite frankly, because this is the work that you do, you know that. And I want to say that because one of the things that in December, our DNC chair said, he called women of color the backbone of the party.
Right.
And I whatever our thoughts are about the party, but we're the backbone, quite frankly, of the vote. Mm-hmm. And so I'd like you to talk a little bit, just briefly, what are your thoughts about that? And if you believe that to be true, how do we help women understand their power as we tackle the midterms and beyond?
Well, first, I'm very excited to have Grown Women Talk with two of my favorite women. I totally agree that Black women especially are the backbone of, to me, the entire electoral process. Because if you look at everything from registering people to vote to turning folks out to vote, and now we're seeing a big wave of Black women actually running for office, we continue to be the driving force to say that democracy matters in America and that everyone needs to be a part of that process. And so you mentioned Virginia, Alabama, where we saw just extremely high voter turnout, especially in the Black community. It was Black women who were the driving force to getting their families, their churches, their organizations to turn out to vote. So at this point, what we're saying as the Collective is that we want to make sure that Black women are also valued in being candidates, in being elected officials, to help develop the policies in our communities that we know we need to see to be able to grow our communities and move us all forward.
Awesome. You all are doing such important work. Congratulations to the Collective for being featured in the Washington Post magazine in February. Yay. What drives you to do this work?
I've always just really been interested in how I personally can support the upliftment of the Black community. And I've worked on the Obama campaign in 2012, which which was a great experience. It really has fueled me to want to make the change that I think we need to see, and that is to create changes that will uplift all in society, especially those who have been left behind, those who have been disadvantaged, and quite often that's the African American Black community. And so I'm a mother of 2 small boys, as y'all know, Carter and Elijah, who are everything. And
Shameless plug.
Yeah, exactly. My sunshines, and I just want to make sure that I am working to lead them in America, a world that is a much better place than what I found it. So.
Wow, it's funny because I was going to ask you what's at stake, but hearing you talk, I think we know what's at stake. But with midterms coming up, can you talk about how do we message? How do we change the conversations at water coolers? How do we change conversations when we're hanging out with our girls so that they understand where we are?
Well, I think a lot of times people say, I'm not into politics or it doesn't relate to me when everything around you is political.
That's
From
right.
the water you drink, what kind of neighborhood, streets you have,
That's right.
to the they have in their public schools or even their private schools, like everything is political. And so to me, it's important to not make things seem so lofty or so grandiose, politics, and it's to really break it down and say, look, are you concerned about X, Y, Z in your community? If so, then you should really look at who's making the decisions that will impact you and your family in futures to come. And so I just think it's important to have real talk with folks and have talk when we're having brunch, because
That's right.
we love our brunch.
Yes, we do love
especially
brunch.
with mimosas.
That's right.
Let's talk about like what's happening with us, what's
That's
happening in our
important.
communities,
Yeah.
and figure out how can we work together to really create solutions that will advance us all forward.
So it is. I think what you're saying is it's grassroots. It is everywhere we are, we make this happen. It is every conversation can really be influenced by this. So that's helpful. Stephanie, how about switching names here?
Yes.
Kia, did you
I
want
want to slip. I do want to slip one thing in because I think that one thing that you touched on is so important. And what is one thing that we can tell women to do? Because I think that they feel like, I can't do anything, I can't do blah blah. But what is the one thing to get them activated? Because their power, to harness their power, what can they do?
I mean, I think one thing is to realize that we do have a lot of power. Like, you have a lot of power as a person in your community that is going about your everyday life, that you have the power to say, you know what, as my mayor, my city council person, or as my school board member, these are the issues that I'm concerned about, and these are some ideas that I have of how we together can make progress in our community. And I just think it starts at home.
Yeah.
And also, my particular message for Black women is run for office.
Yeah.
Run, girl, run.
I mean,
That's
we
right,
run
I love
everything
that.
else.
We
We
do
run our
run-
households. We run our men.
Come on.
Sometimes we run our friends. Yeah, I mean, we run everything. So you
Right,
might as well
right.
run your community in a way that you think will lift
That's
us
so
all up.
awesome.
And so that's my special message now, is just run.
I
Yes.
love
And
it.
win.
Run, and win,
Yes.
win, win.
And I think that also, our show, we like to touch on different kinds of things. And I think that one thing that intrigues me so much, knowing you well, and watching you become a mother and to get married and everything, how is it managing your own business, being the mother of 2 sons under the age of 3, and having all of this and following your dreams? How is it juggling all of it?
It's hard, and I don't like to sugarcoat things. Like, it's difficult. There's days that you feel like, what in the world have I gotten myself into? And I'm drowning, I'm underwater, so someone save me. And there's other days and I'm like, oh, I got this, I'm superwoman. And it's okay to feel both sometimes in the same day. But I like to lean upon the people in my life that I really trust and believe have my back, have my best interest in mind, will give me wise counsel. I've been Andre's ear way too much, I'm sure. And so, I just think it's important to communicate, ask for what you need, don't be ashamed of
That's
it.
so helpful.
And just know that you're not perfect. No one is perfect. And just do the best you can and try to be a good person.
So thank you. I know that Kia's got a little tidbit that she wants to leave you. Again, we appreciate your time. I think this is important because there's much at stake. We've got daughters and cousins and a whole generation yet unborn that is counting on what you do to make a difference and counting on what you say. And so Kia shared with me something that she saw a little earlier, and we'll close with that.
We saw the most adorable picture I did yesterday of a little person
I believe he belongs to you, at the polls yesterday.
Yes, Carter.
Yes. And so, what is your last word to our future generation about what it means to take them to experience this,
Yeah.
and for your children, what does this mean for them?
Start
What was that
early.
message? Yes.
Start early. Start.
stuff.
I mean, Mr. Carter, at 2.5 years old, he went to vote for the first time.
Yay,
He
Carter.
stuck his little paper, my paper, in the machine, and that exposure is really important in the process, so that he understands that he has a responsibility to play as a citizen in this country. And so I just say, expose your children, take them to meetings,
Yes.
take them to the polls, take them to meet their elected officials. So when you're looking that mayor, that city council person in the eye as a young child, they can see that, okay, they're serious, and I need to make sure that I am, as an elected official, is working to make sure that the next generation is good.
I love
Stephanie,
that.
thank you. You are you are a major force to be dealt with, and quite frankly, I don't think you've seen what's really going to happen. Your best is yet to come.
I'll claim that.
And so
Yes,
I will
know,
receive
it
that.
is as well
Thank
you
you.
should. And for all the women out there, walk in your power, vote in your power, and be what you were created to be. Again, thank you, Stephanie
Yes,
Brown.
thank
And we
you,
will have more
ladies.
information about the collective, which is doing such important, powerful work in the description box. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
See you next time, friends.
Yay. Love you.
So friends, thank you so much for joining us. My hope is, our hope collectively, is that you are inspired not just to vote in the midterms. Don't sleep on these things. Please, there's lots at stake, generations yet unborn, and more importantly, remember your power. And I have to tell you, quite frankly, it makes me want to think, do I want to run for office? Who knows?
Come on, that's right.
I just, why not? Why
that's
not?
right.
It is a blank canvas. If I'm able, maybe I should. But more importantly, vote. Know your power, walk in your power, and be powerful. Don't miss this opportunity.
And guess what? Somebody, one of you out there may want to run for office too. And also, as Stephanie told us, go and meet with your elected officials. Go and meet with your school boards. Be active in your local politics, because it is so important. And as Andre already stated, so much is at stake.
Also, don't forget your children. We had our
Yes.
children when they became of age to vote. We encourage them to vote, and we take them with us.
That's right.
That's right.
Each time we vote, we take them with us. So don't forget your children. Show them the way.
That's right. And go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, make sure your voices are heard. Do
Yes.
not be left out.
That's right. Don't be left out. And you all, again, before we leave,
That's right.
we want to thank you all so much for all the love, all the support.
Yes,
Please remember
thank
to
you. It's been
subscribe.
great.
Please hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
Also continue to share. We have so much that we want to share. And coming up, we want to make sure that you all are reading with us. We're going to need more wine. The book by Gabriel Union. And so we're going to be discussing that book
That's
very soon, and we don't want to have any spoilers for you all. So we want you to join in the discussion. Maybe get some of your friends together, and we'll let you know when that discussion will be so that we can have a great time together. So until next time, get ready.
Reset.
And go.
Bye.
See you, friends.
We love to play. Come join